Greetings, everyone. I have an incredible pleasure to introduce to you Brittany from HP. She's going to give you her full title and everything else. I am Senior Vice President of Software for the Workforce Services and Solutions Group, and my name is Rebecca Norlander. I am a long-term advocate of women in technology, Black and African Americans in technology, Latinx in technology, and I am delighted to have a fellow fighter, warrior, princess, etc. with me this morning. We'll talk a little bit about the value of HP and the National Society for Black Engineers, also known in this interview as the Society. And then we'll talk about Brittany's background a little bit and why she thinks that HP and the Society are interesting, and also what her background is and what makes her tick. So with that, Brittany, would you like to introduce yourself?
Thank you, Rebecca. I am so excited to be here. I am Brittany Masalosalo. I'm HP's Chief Public Policy Officer, which gives me the distinct pleasure of being able to advocate for HP's policies all around the world. And these are policies that are important for both me personally and to HP, including policies around diversity, equity, empowerment, specifically empowerment around the African American community.
Awesome. So let's see, I guess the most interesting thing for me would be for you to talk to the National Society of Black Engineers crowd that's going to be at the convention in about a week and a half from when we're recording this. Tell them why you think the society is important and why you think HP's overall role in the society is important.
I think I'll start with explaining why I think the society is important. They have a long and deep history that's rooted in economic, social empowerment for Blacks and African Americans all around the country. That's something that's deeply personal, deeply important for me, and I'm glad to see that it's important to HP as well. HP also has a deep history and a deep legacy of making diversity and inclusion a top priority, focusing very intentionally on Blacks and African Americans. So it's a partnership that's one for the history books. It's natural, it's important, and I think that the future is very bright for us.
That's excellent. I couldn't agree more. So related to that, we talked earlier, before the interview about the importance of being visible in different places. You have a really strong background in the military. And when we see materials, marketing materials for the military, and often for a lot of corporate America, including tech corporate America, we see a diverse set of faces. But the reality is when we get into the senior leadership teams and the boardrooms, we're not quite as represented in those spaces. So what is the importance to you of being visible in those spaces? And how do we make our leadership teams more diverse to reflect the society that is around us every day?
Yeah, I love that question. Thank you, Rebecca. So I'll start by saying that I appreciate the intentions of companies or organizations to want to show that diversity is important to them. And that's why they do it. That's why when you see the images or the public affairs campaigns, we're always very intentional to make sure that we showcase our diverse talent. And one of the reasons why we do that is because we want to send a message. And the message we want to send is one, that diversity is important to us. Having Blacks and African Americans welcome in our company is important. But also we want to tell that community that they are welcome here with us, that they're not going to be an outlier, that they're not going to be alone. And I think it's very important that we take that same intentionality and apply it in practice at the highest levels of our leadership, at our board level, all the way on down. Because I can speak personally to my experience as a Black leader. When I walk into the room and I'm the only one, I get a sense of anxiety. Anxiety about how am I going to be received? How am I going to be welcomed? How am I going to be understood? And I have to carry this anxiety with me as I try to be competent, as I try to be professional, as I try to excel. And I think it's important that we're very intentional about acknowledging that anxiety and how it makes people feel and how it impacts their work performance. So, what should companies be doing? They should make sure that every single room, every single meeting, every single call sends the signal to everybody that you will be welcomed, you will be understood, you will not be alone, and that your diversity will be a strength and a value that you bring, not something that'll be held against you.
That's fantastic. I couldn't resonate with that more. It's interesting that you talk about walking into a room like that and feeling anxiety. I don't know that I would have been quite as articulate. I think I walk into those rooms and I feel immediately like I have a full body clench. And so, it's like if you run or you exercise and you're in a full body clench the whole time, that's so much more energy that's taken out of your body that can't go, in this case, towards being articulate or expressing your point of view or feeling like you can also say, hey, I have a question about that, or that doesn't quite resonate with what I read in the pre-read materials. And so, letting people know that successful folks like you feel exactly that way when they walk into those rooms, I think should be inspirational, because obviously you have overcome that many, many times, and you continue to show people that it's possible and that you're successful and competent. And I think that that's fantastic. So one last question, and then we'll give it a wrap.
Before you move on, I want to give one more point on that also, Rebecca. That's something I think is very important, especially as a mother. I believe wholeheartedly that if people can see it, they can believe it, and they can achieve it. So it's very important that they see that everybody sees that, whether you're just entering the workforce or whether you're seasoned in the workforce and you're courting a company that you may want to go to. Let's make sure that they see it. They see that it's possible and it's achievable, so that they can feel empowered so that they can do it too.
Fantastic. Totally agree with you. And I'm so glad that you're here at HP to do that in the boardroom and in senior leadership meetings and out loud with so many of our different government and legal representations, and of course also to your family and other people's family as they come through HP or think about choosing HP as a place to have a fantastic career. One last bonus question for you. HP is being recognized with a National Society of Black Engineers Golden Torch Award for corporate community service. So this is one of the things in general that I love about HP and that brought me to HP. We're not just involved with our employees, but we believe that we have a responsibility to the community around us. And so, this award goes to a company that demonstrates an investment in its Black and African American communities, including neighborhood development, technology, and advocacy. So what are your thoughts on winning the award? And of course, starting well before people get into HP, showing how HP is believing in them and making a place for them to have a fantastic and successful career.
Yeah, well, I'm so excited about this. I'll start by saying that when I first read that we were receiving the award, one, I felt proud. And then after I settled in proud, I said, well, of course, it only makes sense because that's who HP is. And just like you, that was one of the things that drew me to HP, is that we don't just talk the talk, but we also walk the walk. And I think that HP takes to heart very seriously our civic and social license to operate. We would be doing this work with or without the award to incentivize us. HP does this work because it's important to us as a company that the communities that we're in, that the communities that we're close to are also pulled up and uplifted. And so it only makes sense and it's only natural that HP would be winning this award. But nonetheless, I am very proud. I am very honored, and I'm glad to see more momentum on the horizon.
Excellent. Well, let's call that a wrap. Folks, we both look forward to seeing you at either National Society of Black Engineers Conference Convention. That will be me. I will be there, and I'm looking forward to it. And then we would love to invite lots of you to be a part of HP. And at that point, I would love for you to meet Brittany and know just how fabulous she is, both in person and on screen at her job and as being a part of our overall technical leadership community. So with that, thank you very much, Brittany. And we'll see all of you hopefully in some form in the future.
Thanks, Rebecca.